I'd like to do a book review today. Um, so this is Kazuo Ishiguro's The Artist of the Floating World. This is the second fiction. The first one was A Pale View of Hills. I really love this book. I think this is one of his best books, this particular Pale View of Hills. I really love his innovations of writing this story. I really admire it. And so, I read all the other his fictions, and this is the last one I have to finish. And I was kind of postponing, and I started to read a long time ago, like maybe a couple of years ago, but I couldn't finish it. Kind of a slow reading and so forth. And but today I finished. So I think overall, I think that his writing style is pretty much the same. It's a very meticulous way of going toward the storytelling, and you don't know what it's going to be, but kind of slowly story develop. And I like that. I liked his style of writing, this one. But what I felt, honestly, is that he wrote about Japan. This is about artists in Japan. And a floating world means it's almost like people in a pleasure district type of thing. It's like like a goofing off, playing around, and very pleasure-seeking type of life, type of things there in this title. And also, ukiyo-e means the floating world. The woodblock prints. I think lots of woodblock prints based on the people's taste, because they are selling those prints to all the mass media, and so they are selling all these beautiful, artistically and technically very high skilled endeavor to make a particular woodblock print. And so I think I felt that Kazuo Ishiguro, who grew up in Britain, and his father parents to be Japanese, he always looking at Japan as something that he marveled about Japan. So apparently he had a tremendous interest in the Japanese history and society and economical progress, World War II, all these historical things that he is tremendously interested. And it's about the artist who goes to this teacher and become a student of that particular art teacher. And so this art teacher has a tremendous discipline. So you have to paint this way, that way, and so forth. And he is also a proponent of this floating world culture. Like you go to this pleasure district and drinking and playing with prostitute or whatever, and that type of life. I think this particular sensei artist promote, and this particular protagonist is the kind of an intellectual, very capable, and very confident about his art, and he ended up with like a very loved by this teacher and so forth. But I think one day he became a little bit uh, uh, unsure about this teacher's the way of life or teacher's teaching, and he tried to do his own more experimental style of painting, and that wasn't liked by this teacher, and he was broken off from this teacher's school. And but then later on he became successful, and all the teachers and all the other students become kind of obsolete, it's not so popular anymore, and his works is getting awards and everything, become very popular, and he kind of reminisce all the old relationship, and but he feels very good about breaking off because he's confident that he achieved so much, and so he ended his this achievement, you know, pleasure. I think that's what it is. At the end, he was remembering about this old relationship with old teachers and all the fellow students, and then he somewhat felt his life changed, his new lifestyle become vindicated because he became successful, and so at the end he's happy and a very comfortable life there, and I was a little bit off-put because the way this protagonist treat other people, he treats his two daughters as always a second citizens, and although he loved and worried about his daughters, marriage and everything, but then again he kind of dismissed their own ideas, their thoughts. He doesn't understand why those people have a different idea, different thoughts compared to his own, and he always thought that his way of life is always justifiable, always confident to be in it, and he pursued that, and through that I think he has a little bit of difficulty with other people. So I'm not sure the author himself tried to depict that kind of a person who is not perfect, but is kind of arrogant in Japanese societies, put the man as far most important compared to the woman, and his ideas is the most important things in the family and everything. And so I think he maybe Ishiguro criticizing that particular thoughts, maybe he was looking at from Britain, looking at the Japanese society, and he's kind of trying to see those changes in Japan, historical changes, political changes, so forth, environmental changes. He was more or less like a bystander, criticizing probably Japanese way of life at that time. So in the essence, at the reading all that, I didn't like this protagonist to begin with. He is kind of arrogant, and also Ishiguro uses not the real Japanese town, Japanese city, Japanese establishment, but it's almost like this Western people's idea of Japanese society, Japanese culture, looking from outside, trying to describe. So as a Japanese myself, I felt like a little bit awkward. It's not like this particular author doesn't knows everything about Japan and love the Japanese way of life and tremendous this cultural affiliation, and you really love to be in that culture. But it's not like that. It's like a bystander from outside, and so I think that's a little bit weak, I would say. And I don't know, this one is, it got awards and everything, and so some people liked it, so I think that some people ideas is tremendously different from mine, and but I didn't consider, I liked this one so much, so I was anticipating, well, it's going to be like that, but it's not, it's completely different story, and so this is my few cents. I understand Kazuo Ishiguro has published the new book called Clara and the Sun. I checked at the nearby library to see if it's available. Of course, there's 150 people waiting, for the book, and of course, there's no way I can get to it quickly. I don't want to buy the hardcover book, but it's kind of bulky, and when I buy book, I read first, then I really love the book, and then I buy them. I never read them, but I'm not sure that that's a good way to do it. But I rather wait until the book become available easily to me. So today's about this artist, Floating World by Kazuo Ishiguro's my thoughts. Okay, thank you.